right. I think I've got everything together. This is all a little bit new for me. I've been doing Zoom meetings with some select folks for the last couple of weeks. As many of you know, I've been trying to go live as much as possible to support all of you, to be a resource for you, to give you everything that you need to adjust to this new normal. And it's not easy. We are living in a completely different world than we were just a few weeks ago, essentially. And many of us are in a bit of a compromised situation because yoga studios are closed, classes are canceled. We don't, for those of us who are full-time yoga teachers, our livelihood is in peril right now, and that's real. That's a real and valid concern. And so I wanted to do this Zoom meeting today, not just as an opportunity to be able to see more of you and speak with more of you and hopefully get some of you in the hot seat here to triage your businesses a little bit, but also to give all of you watching and listening the extra support that you may need to get your businesses online, because really that's what's happening now, right? Your students are at home. They need you. They need you probably more than they ever have. So it's really important that you get your resources, your teachings, your workshops, whatever you have online, so that you can support your students where they are, right? So I am recording this. There will be a replay. I will make sure that you all get a replay link. I will post it everywhere that I can. I am live on Facebook, or rather live on YouTube and Instagram. I couldn't figure out Facebook this morning, tech. What are you going to do? You do the best you can. But for those of you who are here with me inside the Zoom meeting, you're going to have a chance to interact with me, ask questions. And later on, we'll have an opportunity to bring you on and put you in the hot seat and work on your businesses a little bit. So first off, welcome everybody. I am so happy, grateful, honored that you are here. Thank you for taking the time to join me this morning. It's awesome to have you. I put out, I saw the need for this. I've been seeing the need for this. I've been receiving tons of questions. I've had people literally come out of the woodwork, texting me, calling me like, hey, Lana, so this online yoga thing, like, how do you really do that? I've been doing my best to make sure that I answer everybody, but, to do it here in a forum like this gives me the opportunity to answer you even better. This is on all of our minds. This is, like I said, this is happening now. This is what's happening now. We are being challenged as yoga teachers to do things differently. My business has been online for the last 5 years. I saw the need for online yoga many years ago, and I've been trying to convince everybody to go online for many reasons, right? Getting your business online is helpful on many levels, okay? And there have been many times over the last 5 years that I have been extremely grateful to have my business online. And it has been when I've been sick, and then I've been able to take some time off and still have the income coming in, thank goodness, because my business is online. It's been that, I do have a specific niche of people that I work with and serve, and I can find them all over the world, wherever they are at, because my business is online. So I actually have the ability to have a wider reach and make a bigger impact with my work, which is something I know that you all want to do. You want to reach people with the work that you do. So I've been grateful for that. As a kamikaze, I call it a kamikaze yoga teacher, where you drop into studios all over the place. And if you wouldn't mind, can you just, here, let me go into this gallery view so I can see all of you. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Raise your hand if you are typically a kamikaze yoga teacher, where you drive all over the place, you teach in all different locations, you teach in different studios, you have classes in more studios than just one. Right, so quite a few of you. So that is not a long-term sustainable course of action. So you can only teach in so many studios at one time. You can only teach so many people in that room at one time. And for all the years that I was doing stuff like that, there was never any paid, time off, never any paid leave. If I was sick, no money. If I wanted to take a vacation, no money. Getting your business online actually changes all that, right? So these are the reasons why I've been talking about this and encouraging yoga teachers now for many years to do this, but never has it been more important than right now. Okay, this is the moment that this work is so important. Your students are at home. They have to be at home. That's what social distancing is. That's what it's asking of us. That's what it's requiring of us. They still need you. And in fact, they probably need you now more than ever because social distancing has real effects: anxiety, depression, boredom, apathy, loneliness. These are the real effects of social distancing. And guess what is primarily designed to alleviate those things? Yoga. This is the tool, this is the craft that you all have. So you have to be there for them online. I'm looking at the roster of folks who are here. Again, I'm thrilled that you've all decided to join me today. Thank you so much. And I can see some of you are helping to triage some of the tech issues. Zoom is also new for all of us. So please help others as they're having their challenges with Zoom. And then if something is going wackadoo, I'm hoping that my right-hand gal, Kim, will let me know because I'm also checking my text messages. It's like a full-on production studio over here. Many of you I know already have some of your work online. Kimberlyn is a woman, raise your hand and wave. Kimberlyn is here. She's a coaching student of mine. She's been working with me for many years to get her stuff online. So she's already got some work here. I'm going to ask some of you who've worked with me for a while in the past to perhaps chime in and help as well. This is going to be a great discussion. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes to get settled in, do a little housekeeping, give you some context. I have a slide presentation for you because, I'm fancy like that. And we're going to talk about really what the foundation of your success online is. It isn't just to go live and live stream on Facebook and Instagram. All right, so this is kind of the public service announcement I've been doing this week, which is I've seen over the last few weeks so many yoga teachers just teaching live on Instagram and Facebook for free with no money. I'm not going to tell you to not do stuff for free for your audience. I don't recommend it. When you do things for free, you devalue your work and you make it more difficult for yourself and others to actually charge appropriately in the future. Everybody here wants to make a living. And more than that, everybody here deserves to, because your work is valuable. You are valuable. You are incredibly valuable, and the work that you do is incredibly valuable. We have many, many people across this country whose livelihoods are compromised right now. And if that is the case, we are asking none of them to work for free. Nobody is being asked to work for free. Nobody's asking you to work for free. It is just as important that you be able to put food on your table and pay your rent as it is for everyone else to do that, right? You have a right to do that. And I know there's a lot of stigma and a lot of false belief systems around money and payment in yoga. I want to continue to do everything I can to help you break through those. Again, because you are valuable and the work that you do is valuable. So live streaming classes on Instagram and Facebook, they're not going to do it, right? They're not going to do it. Your students actually need more than that from you. Okay. And Facebook and Instagram are fine places to reach more people, to reach a wider audience, to provide them with some content so they get a taste of what you do and who you are and how you teach. All of that is fine. But every time you offer something, what you must do for their sake as well as yours is tell them how they can participate with you further. What more can they do? Because just like you need more support right now, your students need more support right now. They need more from you than just a live streamed class on Instagram or Facebook where they have to squint at the screen. They can't ask you questions. You can't see them. They need more. They need coaching. They need more in-depth lessons on yoga philosophy. They need personalized tools for stress reduction and anxiety relief. And the way that you can give that to them is through developing a more comprehensive online business. Now, this doesn't have to be hard. Okay, I know that we are all sort of being thrown into the fire right now. And like I keep saying, and this is actually my very favorite mantra, this is what's happening now, right? This is just what's happening now. We are forced to take a look at how to go online with our business. You are all small business owners. By default, as yoga teachers and spiritual leaders, you are a small business owner. You are an entrepreneur. I've been encouraging you to wear that hat for a long time. You have to put it on now. So I hope that you're hearing the call to step more fully into your role as a spiritual leader at this time. You are so needed, okay? You are so valuable. So this is so much fun. I just keep seeing people like wanting to join, and I know that there's a lot of chats going out. So can you real quick in the chat, introduce yourself to everybody, tell everybody where you're from, tell everybody maybe just quickly a little bit about what you do, and maybe a little bit about why you're here today. All right, so we'll put that in there because I want you all to support each other as well and get to know each other as well. That's as important as me providing you with some content that I've prepared for you today. All right, you are not alone. A lot of people are feeling very alone these days for many, many reasons because of this crisis, this pandemic. And I want to tell you that you are not alone. You are not alone. I am here for you. I have always been here for you. And I will continue to do my best to be here for you throughout this crisis to get you what you need. The first thing that I'm going to do after we get some introductions in the chat. So for those of you who are there with me on Zoom, the chat box, if you haven't seen it, located it at the bottom of your screen, there should be a little menu with a little thing that says chat with a little chat bubble. You can click that. It should open up to the side of your screen so that you can type in where you're from and who you are and introduce yourself to the rest of the community here. Everyone here on this call is in the same boat as you. Everyone is here because they want more resources to go online with their business, their spiritual business. All right. So you are not alone. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my slide presentation with you, which I think I can do. Again, I'm still a little bit new to Zoom, right? So I hope I don't screw this up. And we're going to keep getting some updates from you guys and from my right-hand gal, Kim, who is here. By the way, quick round of applause for Kim. She makes all things possible in my world. So thank you, Miss Kim. We're giving this a try and hopefully this works out for everybody. Okay. You guys ready for the slides? I whipped them up for y'all. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, so I should be sharing my keynote presentation. So if you guys can give me a thumbs up, those of you on video, just let me know that you can see it. That would be awesome. I would appreciate that. Okay, great. So we are talking today about setting the foundation for success with your spiritual business online, right? This is really why we're here. I know you know how to teach yoga. I know that you can teach in a studio setting. I know that you can, do a lot of things, but I don't know that all of you are online. And that's really what I'm trying to get out of this. Hold on. There we go. That's really why we're here, because this is the big unknown factor for most of you. How to do this, how to go online, how to, wow people with your work, how to reach them where they are. So this is our conversation today. And I listed the fun things that I do. So for those of you that don't know, or for those of you who are new to working with me, I do everything online these days, which is amazing. I have the Upward Facing Business Academy, which is online business training for yogis that teaches you specifically from start to finish how to go online. Some of you are in that business academy, so you can also be of service to the other people here in the chat, working with them and letting them know what questions that you have. I have the Kaivalya Yoga Method Academy. I have a full 500-hour online teacher training program. It's online, the whole thing. Some of you have been through that. You can let people know what that's been like. And then I have the Modern Mystics Academy, which is a conglomeration of a bunch of other courses that help you as yoga teachers elevate your education online. So I listed that not to do anything other than to share with you that I've been doing this for a long time, that I do have the resources here to help you, and also to let you know that it is possible to go online with your business. It's definitely possible. There have been people who are doing it, who have done it before, including myself. All right, so welcome to the new normal, everybody. This is brand new, this normal. And even as early as 3 weeks ago, the situation was completely different. We were still teaching in studios. We were still getting ready to host our retreats, our workshops. We were still leading teacher trainings. And then suddenly everything just came to a grinding halt. There was no way to foresee this. There was no way to plan for this. And it means that now we have to, a lot is being asked of us right now as adults. We're being asked to both grieve the loss of the old normal and jam ourselves into this new normal right now, essentially ASAP. We don't have time to grieve the loss of the old normal, and we're barely keeping up with how the new normal is constantly changing. So I'm here to help you with that, at least in a little way, in my own way today. So social distancing, all these rules of social distancing, which I'm all for, okay? This is how we're gonna flatten the curve and keep people healthy and safe. It has consequences. Social distancing has largely closed studios, canceled workshops, and postponed retreats. So the way in which you used to interact with students is now no longer the way that we interact with students. It's different. And this means that the livelihood of the in-studio teacher is currently compromised. If you made your living primarily as an in-studio teacher, that's no longer available to you right now at this moment. I've heard from many of my fellow yoga teachers who are struggling with this right now, obviously. And I've heard that yoga studios are addressing this in many ways. Most yoga teachers are contractors, which means they don't have access to unemployment. Most yoga studios were never in a position to handle this kind of crisis, and so they don't have the means to pay their teachers. This means you as an individual or as a studio owner are severely compromised right now. It is just as important for you to take care of your financial well-being as it is for you to take care of your physical well-being, right? Remember, you are valuable and the work that you do is valuable. Social distancing has real side effects, both for you as well as your students. Side effects like depression, anxiety, disconnection. Maybe some of you have started to see talk of that on your news outlets. I certainly have. I saw Deepak Chopra the other day on CBS Morning News. Because he's talking about how meditation helps people with these real effects of social distancing. This is a conversation that we're having. We are having conversation about how to alleviate the real mental and spiritual effects of social distancing. You, my friend, are primely equipped to help your students with those real effects that are happening now. And because your people are in their homes, you have to help them where they are. So we need to help our students where they're at by going online. And if you give students access to the tools they need to alleviate the stress of the current situation, what an incredible and necessary service you are doing for your community. So taking your yoga business online means more than just live streaming on social media. Okay, again, I'm not going to harp too much on this today. I'm not going to tell you to stop doing it. But I will tell you that when you do things for free by live streaming on social media, again, you're giving the message that your work is not valuable. There are ways to do things live, but if you do something live and free, make sure it is a snippet of what more you can offer them, okay? Because your students want more from you right now. They need more from you right now. So in order to serve the greater needs of your students at this time, it's important to have an offer that provides them deeper teachings or access to you or support through a community, as well as results, the kind of results that yoga naturally provides, right? Raise your hand if you have had any positive results as a result of your practice of yoga. Have any of you benefited positively from yoga? Yeah, I mean, that's why you're all here, isn't it? You know that this stuff works. Oh my gosh, you guys can actually raise your, I see like little things that says raise their hand. That's a cool Zoom function. I haven't seen that before. So you want to give those results to your students too. You want to say, hey, look, I know that this stuff, it is proven to work for this. I'm going to help guide you through this. Patty Zipper, good to see you, girl. So the foundations for a successful online business right now and long into the future are found within your passion and your niche, all right? So that's what we're going to focus on today, because I need to get you organized a little bit. I want to help you with the foundation of this because it can be very overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming to go online with your business. And I want to start at the most basic place the most basic foundation is going to set you up for success, which is really understanding what your niche is and what you are capable of doing with your students, how you're capable of transforming them. This is truly the foundation of success. And I know this. I've worked with individual people, coaching them on their business for the last several years. I worked with groups of people inside my Upward Facing Business Academy, and it all starts with truly understanding what your niche is. That is how you will create a strong brand and a strong message to your community. I want you to think long-term. Okay, this is happening now, and we do have to do a bit of a hustle to get ourselves online in such a way that we can support our students who are currently suffering with things that we can help with because we know yoga. But I want you to think long-term. Okay, what this crisis has revealed is simply a weakness in our industry. The yoga industry has not developed to value the individual teacher. All right, it's a whole other lecture as to why that's the case, but it is the case. So it's time for you to value yourself and to take care of yourself as well as your students by creating a successful online business. All right, not just right now, but in the future. When this crisis is all over and done with, won't you still want paid time off? Won't you still want the ability to, make money if you're sick, if you're out of commission for any reason? Won't you still want the ability to reach your students wherever they're at, to make your teachings more accessible, to broaden your audience and really target the folks that you can help most beyond just the next few months? I'm pretty sure you will. All right. So everything that you're doing right now is a long-term solution. You're doing it quickly now because it needs to happen, but it's a long-term solution. Okay. So how do you put your passion into action to create transformation? That's really the question today, putting your passion into action to create transformation. So it's the transformation you create with your students, and it is your passion that will fuel that. And again, it fuels your success. So let's talk about defining your niche and establishing your expertise. So what I did was I went right inside my Upward Facing Business Academy and I pulled out the bulk of this lecture here for you, right? I know that everybody needs it, so ripping it right from the inside of my own stuff, and here you go. This is probably the most important lecture that happens inside my Upward Facing Business Academy. Those of you who've been through it, you can attest to that. It's the one that people have the most questions on. And again, it is the foundation for your success. So let's talk about defining your niche. All of you has one. This is how you differentiate yourself from the crowd, right? There were a lot of yoga teachers before, but now there's a lot of yoga teachers all trying to go online. So how do you help your students find you? How do you help them find you and what you do? Because you're the one who is most adept and able to help them. This helps you to focus your business and your message, because when people are clear on your message, they know who to come to for support. So if we think about other businesses, right? Let's think about Apple, right? I'm a Mac girl. I'm currently on my, MacBook Pro with my iPhone streaming to Instagram with my iPad over there charging up. Like, it rules my life. So Mac has a very specific niche. Look, Mac does electronics. They could probably make toasters and microwaves, right? They're electronics, but do they? No, they don't. They stick to their niche, which is solutions for creative people, electronic solutions for creative people, right? If that's not who you are, you're not a Mac user. You use something else. If you need a toaster, you're going to go to a different brand, because that's not what Mac does. Though I bet they'd make a really cool toaster. Doesn't mean that that's what they do. Okay, that's the power of niching down. And I know that this feels scary, but like, hang in there with me. We're going to walk through it a little bit further. It also helps you to keep yourself engaged with your work and studies. Now, I know as yoga teachers, all of you here today with me, I know that all of you are hyper-educated. We have a major trend, I guess, in yoga as yoga teachers, that we tend to overdo it with the education. We take this course, we take that certification, we do it over again. So I know that you all have tons of things that you know, and to really be an excellent yoga teacher, it does take a lot of knowledge and a wide variety. I'll give you a personal example. Okay, so I have been leading yoga teacher trainings in person and online for about 20 years. And I am capable, right? I am capable with my body of knowledge of leading every part of a yoga teacher training. I can teach the anatomy section. I can teach the philosophy. I can teach the hands-on adjustments, right? I have that capability. I don't love all that stuff. In fact, full disclosure, big secret, don't tell anybody, I hate teaching anatomy. It's some people's jam, right? Some people are like all about it. That's their favorite thing. They can't wait. I don't love it. I'm capable of doing it, but I don't love it. I have to know anatomy because as a yoga teacher, we move bodies in extraordinary ways. So it's critical for me to have that knowledge, but boy, I don't want to spend day in and day out poring over it. Just isn't my jam. If we do things like that, if we teach or try to push the things that we're not passionate about, we burn out quickly. Now, I'm sure for any of you who have been a full-time yoga teacher for more than 6 months, you've reached a point of burnout. Burnout happens. It happens when we're not feeding our soul. It happens when we're working for free. It happens when we're giving ourselves away. So the power of understanding your niche is the power of understanding what you're truly passionate about and what will keep you going long past and avoid any burnout. The other powerful point of a niche is it helps you stand out as the expert, right? People are clear that, oh my gosh, you do this thing. You are the philosophy teacher. You are the deep diver of the Yoga Sutras. So I'm not going to call you when I have an anatomy workshop I need taught, but I'm going to call you every single time I need a Yoga Sutra workshop taught, right? Just as an example. Being able to clearly stand out as the expert is what makes people come to you for things. All right. Now, I know that there's this mentality, again, we have a lot of BS in yoga around money, BS, belief systems. And I know that because often we're not paid well enough as kamikaze yoga teachers dropping into studios all over the place, we live in fear. And there's two options in life. You can either live in fear or you can live in love. And when we're living in fear, we don't make great decisions and it doesn't necessarily help us expand further, which is all stuff that we love as yoga teachers. When we're afraid about not making enough money, when we're living in fear, we'll basically try to take whatever comes our way. So when someone calls us to sub the restorative class, we say yes. When someone calls us to sub the power class, we say yes. When someone calls us to sub the advanced class, we say yes. The beginner's class, we say yes to everything because we're afraid if we say no, it's going to restrict us financially. When actually the opposite is true. When you say yes to the things that set your heart on fire, you will have more opportunities to do that. As the expert in that niche, you are able to actually charge more for that bit of expertise, and people will always seek you out because you can help them transform better than anybody else with your skills, with your niche down skills, right? So muy, muy importante is that niche. So I love this quote by Kierkegaard. He's a crazy philosopher, but this quote is fantastic. The happiness of the heart is the will to one thing. So your will, your passion, your drive, when it is really moving in one direction, that's where not only do you find happiness, but your students do as well. That's the happiness of the heart. This is when your will, when it is focused, laser focused on that one thing, everything else falls into place. Now this isn't flippant advice, right? And as much as I read the tarot, I'm an astrologer, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm deep into the woo, guys. I am. I love that stuff. You know, and I also endeavor always to be incredibly clear and grounded and as academic as possible. I received this advice. This was one of the first pieces of advice that I received at the very beginning of my yoga career. And it's carried me through until now. It's something I come back to always. And that's why I share it with you here. When I heard that all I had to do was focus on the one thing that set my heart on fire, it was terrifying and liberating at the same time. In the moments of my life that I haven't focused my will on my one thing, things have fallen apart. Always, right? So this comes from experience, lived experience, that when you really settle in on your passion and your niche, that's what's going to make things happen for you. And by proxy, because you are a spiritual leader, it will affect all the people that you work with too, which I know is what we want. So how do we find our niche, right? Whoa, niche sounds great, Alana, but how do we do that? I know. So first of all, there's a misconception that finding your niche limits you, right? It doesn't. So what your niche is not a style of yoga, right? What I don't want you coming out of this discussion with is, oh, my niche, I'm a power vinyasa teacher. I don't care what kind of yoga you teach. I care how you teach it, right? So it's not about the style. It's not about, beginners or advanced people. It's about what you bring to that practice. Do you bring astrology training? Do you bring a love of anatomy? Do you bring the 15 other certifications that you've gathered over the years that sort of influence how you present your yoga? There's a way in which you do things that nobody else can. It's unique to you. That's your niche. That's the thing that you do. It's not about the style of yoga you teach. It's about how you teach it. Do you walk into a room and fill it with a sense of meditation and calm? Do you bring a sense of musicality to your practice? You can bring all of these things in. So I have a student named Melly. I use her as an example a lot. She's wonderful. She's in all my programs. She went through my teacher training. She's certified as an astrologer. She's certified as a tarot reader. She's certified as a yoga teacher. She's got an incredible niche. She does dream work. That's what she loves. She loves talking to people about their dreams, what their dreams are communicating to them, and how to listen to and act upon those messages in daily life. And as she does dream work with people, she uses her yoga practice. She uses her yoga knowledge. She uses her astrology knowledge, her tarot knowledge. She brings all that in to the dream work. The dream work is her niche. All of those things she's trained in support that niche. So that's what I want you to think about is how do you incorporate all of your training, all of the things that you know, all your lived experience to fulfill one purpose? What is the one thing that you do that no one else can do? All right. You have to be clear on this in order for your business to be successful online or otherwise. So think about it this way. What's the best outcome you would like to facilitate in your students? Right. So my niche is clearly defined. I work with yoga teachers to help them make more impact and income as spiritual leaders. I want them to make more impact by growing their audience, by having more training, up-leveling the work they do. And I want them to make a living at it. Not just a living, but a thriving living. That's pretty niched. If you arrive on my website and you're not a yoga teacher, you might be in the wrong place, right? And that's okay. I know who I can help. I know where my strengths lie. And the best outcome for me is that someone is an incredibly well-trained yoga teacher making a great living. And I've helped people do that. So what is the best outcome for you? If you were to work with your absolute favorite student, what is the best thing that they could walk away from you with? What is the best feeling or teaching or tool? And it has to be practical, right? I don't want you to say the best thing that they could walk away with is ultimate happiness. I want it tangible. I want something that they could tell others, that they can display to others, they could show others. I want them to walk away certified in this specific meditation technique. I want them to walk away with 5 tools to reduce stress. I want them to walk away with the ability to increase their resilience if they ever feel it diminished, right? I want a really clear thing that is demonstrable over and over again. So what is the best outcome that you would like to facilitate in your students? And then another way to come to your niche. So these are 3 ways to come to your niche. I want you to write down one thing that you could teach about every day for the next 10 years. So this was a piece of advice that I got before I wrote my first book, Myths of the Asanas. And I knew that I wanted to write a book and had all this knowledge. And I was like, well, I could write a book about this. I could write a book about this. And a friend said to me, whatever you write about, you're going to still be talking about it 10 years from now. So you better love what you put out there because it's still going to be in conversation 10 years from now and you don't want to get sick of it. I thought, wow, that's a really good piece of advice. Is there something for you that you could teach about, talk about every day for the next 10 years? Time would pass. You wouldn't have to get paid for it. You wouldn't even know. You would just continue to deep dive. That is probably what your niche is, or at least certainly getting close to it. So when you start circling around to the thing that you do that no one else can, your niche, think about your most favorite student. And I know we're not supposed to play favorites, but we all have one. So your most favorite student, what would you work with them on? And what would you want them to walk away from you with? Right? Think about the most awesome student you have. You can close your eyes. You know, wow, when they walk away and they just have that open heart and that wonderful tingly yoga buzz, what have they received from you? That's the kind of person you want to work with over and over. And there are more of that person. There are tons more of that person. And your work through your business is to find them. And amazingly enough, when you go online, you can find them anywhere. They don't have to live within the 10-mile radius of your yoga studio. They can live in Alaska. They can live in Minnesota. They can live in Texas. They could live in Prague. But if you have what they need, they can find you. It's awesome stuff. So what is your niche? I hope that I've gotten the wheels turning, the juices flowing, that you've got some thoughts around what your niche is, that you have an idea of what it is. So I want you to write it down in some way right now, okay? Because this is happening now. Remember, this is what's happening now. So you can type it out. You can write it with a pen and a paper. Get it on paper. What do you think your niche is? Because we're going to talk a little bit more and massage this a little bit more as part of this call. I know that it feels scary to commit to one thing. I promise you, cross my heart, I promise you that when you do commit to one thing, fear will give way to love. It will be the thing that liberates you. I promise you that. All right. So if you don't believe it right now, take my word for it and go for it. Because again, we don't have time to wait. We can't have you wait until you're ready to go online. You have to do it now for your students, right? So we just keep moving with our mission as spiritual leaders. So it's not, I know it can be scary to commit to one thing, but this is why you need a niche. A niche allows you to be seen as an expert in your field. You are an expert, but what are you an expert of? Right? You're not just an expert of yoga. There's something specific that you're an expert of. When you have a niche, everybody is clear on who you are and whom you serve, and they will call you. They will reach out to you when they need what you do. So establishing a niche does not limit your options. It actually sets you free to do the thing that you love the most, the thing that you can use to transform people the most. So here's our next big step, which is to write a tagline. All right. And this is what you move forward with in your business. I mentioned at the beginning of our call today, you know, that you need to do more than just go online or go live on social media, right? This is bigger. Your students need more. Out of your tagline will naturally grow things that you can do to support your students in a bigger way, whether it be a coaching program, say a 4-week deep dive into some topic, a 6-week group class on some way, a weekend workshop, right? Nobody's busy on weekends right now. In fact, most people don't even know what day it is. So you could do a weekend workshop on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock and you would probably have people. So let's talk about your tagline, because you know you have a sense now, a growing sense, a developing sense of what your niche is. And you have to be able to communicate that clearly to other people. So I'm going to help you refine that, because this is going to be so key and so critical for your audience, your success as an online business. A tagline helps you to identify yourself to your audience, and it lets the audience know you're the right person for them. Don't we all want to help the people that we can help most? The ones who can really benefit from what we do. They need to know that you're the right person, and they will know that through your tagline. It's kind of like an elevator pitch. It's like, you know, if you're at, say, a party, which obviously this party happened 3 weeks or more ago because we can't gather in large groups. But if you were at a party and people say to you, what do you do? Which I live in New York City. So this is like the first question out of people's lives. We're all defined here in New York by what we do, how we contribute to society. And so you want to have a compelling thing that if the person that you're talking to needs what you do, there's instant connection. If you say what you do and it's like, This person has no idea, like that conversation's over and you probably don't want to talk to them anyway. Okay, so this is how you find your people and how you find your people all over the world when you're online. So it helps you qualify your leads, helps you qualify your audience. It has them know that they're in the right place to work with you. And it creates clarity around all of the rest of your brand and business. No one is wondering what you do. They know because of this tagline. So a tagline goes like this. This is just an example, and I'll give you some actual examples here in a moment. But a tagline incorporates 3 very critical pieces of information. Number 1, who you serve, right? You want the person to identify, oh my gosh, you're for me. You're for me. It's me that you work with. That's perfect. Okay, so number 1, who you serve. Number 2, what problem you solve. Everyone around the planet, because they're human, every person around the planet has at least 5 to 7 problems operating on any given day. Right now, probably a few more. Okay, so everybody's got problems. Everybody's got a variant of a financial problem. Everybody's got a variant of a relationship problem. I'm in a relationship. Boy, do I want out. I'm not in a relationship. Boy, do I want in one. You know, money problems. Oh, I don't have enough. That's usually the one. I don't know how to spend it. I don't know how to manage it. There's always problems operating. Okay. So what I want you to think in terms of the problem that you solve with people, this is a really important qualifier, is do they know it's a problem? Are they walking around every day going, God, I wish I could have a solution for this problem? If they had a giant birthday cake in front of them with a lot of candles and they were making a wish, are they wishing for the solution to this problem? If they are, you know that you got a good problem that you can help solve, okay? Most people aren't walking around day to day going, oh gosh, I wish I had more spirituality. You know, they're not walking around day to day going, man, you know, I wish I could meditate better. They're walking around day to day going, God, I've got so much stress. When is this stress ever going to end? You know, man, I have so much, and oh God, these heart palpitations are killing me. The person that I'm stuck in quarantine with is driving me batty. How do I resolve this relationship? Because I can't go anywhere, right? These are the problems that people have. So call them out clearly, the problems that people actually know that they have. And then describe a little bit the core system of transformation. You know, what do you use? Is it a combination of yoga and astrology and tarot? Is it a combination of Reiki, anatomy, and massage? You know, what is it that you like? Give people a clue as to what they're getting into here, right? So basic format is, hi, my name is, insert name. I help teach or work with who you serve. So name who your people are in order to solve the problem by showing you, and then how do you solve it? So I'm going to give you an example. And for those of you on Instagram, you won't see the slides, but for those of you on Zoom, here are some examples from actual websites of people who are friggin' masters at this with their very clear taglines. And I've given you their, I realized that I'm in there too. So I didn't mean to be like, these are amazing people who are masters. Sorry. I also wanted to give you my example, but these 2 other people, they're definitely amazing at online marketing. So they're very relevant. So my tagline is helping you create more impact as a yoga teacher with spiritual tools that transform the soul. If you show up on my website and you're not into that spirituality stuff in terms of yoga, are you in the right place? Nope. You know that I'm not your girl. So you go somewhere else, no problem. If you show up on my website and you're not yet really a yoga teacher, are you in the right place? Probably not. I can help you become a yoga teacher. So if you're on that path, then you are. But if you're a student, a beginner, probably not. I can't help everybody, right? I can help you. That's what I'm telling you on my website. There's a wonderful lady named Amy Porterfield. She says, hi, I'm Amy. I teach business owners, educators, and entrepreneurs the profitable action steps for building a highly engaged email list, creating online training courses, and using online marketing to sell with ease. So if you show up on her website and you're not a business owner, educator, or entrepreneur, you're in the wrong spot. If you're not interested in going online, you're in the wrong spot. But if these are the things that you want, you know that Amy is your girl, right? So that's the example of a powerful tagline. It's instant recognition that you are there for them, that you can help them solve the exact problem that they have. So let's workshop this out a little bit, and I want to hear from you. So type out your tagline. For those of you that have a tagline, type it out in the chat, and I want to hear what it is. So share your tagline with us. I'm going to get to as many of you as I can in the time that we have, and post your ideas there. And in the meantime, while you're writing out your tagline, I want to share with you my list of resources that I've compiled for you over the last few weeks. So again, I've been going live almost every day with you guys in various mediums, various formats to help you as much as I can, providing as many resources as I can. Luckily, I have a lot of resources, and the list got to be long. So I just created a page where all of you can go to get some of those resources, to find what you need. It's at alanak.com/COVID-19-resources. alanak.com/COVID-19-resources. My Instagrammers link is in the bio. And for all of you on Zoom, I will put, or Kim will put that link in the chat for you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because that is the end of la presentation. And I'm going to scroll through and see if I can get some taglines going here. All right, so Miss Melanie, how are you, girl? So Melanie, I think you can, oh, there you are, perfect. I'm going to unmute you. All right, so Melanie, I'm going to read your tagline for everybody, all right? She says, oops, it just went away. Hi, Melanie, it says, I am Melanie from Manitoba, Canada. I am a yoga teacher and I'm getting my yoga and spiritual business online. I've taken the plunge about 3 weeks ago and I belong to the Upward Facing Business Academy. So it's not quite a tagline. Sorry, I didn't read all the way through it, Miss Melanie. Do you have an idea of what your tagline or your niche is, since I've got you unmuted and I'd love to chat with you about it?
Yes, I've been frantically working on it and I find I keep changing my mind. But I always go back to the core of the heart. So what I've come up with is this. Hi, I'm Melanie. I coach individuals who have lost part of their spirit by encouraging them to tune into the wisdom of their own hearts through chakra work, yoga, and then listing whatever else.
Great. So say I help people who've lost a part of their spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember the birthday cake metaphor. People don't look at the birthday cake and go, gosh, I wish I had part of my spirit back. Right?
I did.
Fair enough, fair enough. But as a general rule, right, what are the problems that come with a loss of spirit? What are the everyday things that people struggle with that is a result, in your estimation, of loss of spirit?
In my opinion, that led to a broken heart. But how do you say that? How do you say that in
I help brokenhearted people.
Yeah.
Right? Has anybody here ever suffered from a broken heart? Raise your hand. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much everybody. When you are brokenhearted, don't you want help getting out of that situation? Raise your hand if you want help getting out of a broken heart. Raise your hand if getting out of a broken heart is something you would wish for when you have your birthday cake in front of you. Right. So that is the real problem. Okay. Again, you have to think of it on the terms that people are thinking of it. So call them out as brokenhearted people and then say, I help to mend your heart through spiritual tools and resources, whatever it is. Okay. And I think that that's going to help you get closer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think what it is I'm scared to call out people on their, like, a broken heart is such a negative energy sounding, it's the same with trauma and the same with, because they all lead to the broken heart, but
it's okay to say it out loud. I think part of your work is going to help them with accepting where they are, which is at a brokenhearted space. You need to identify them somehow, right? So I think that telling them in one sentence, I help the brokenhearted to mend their broken hearts, right? Then you're immediately giving them hope. You're not saying, I help the brokenhearted stay brokenhearted forever and ever, amen.
Okay.
Right? Awesome. Thank you, Melanie.
Thanks.
All right, Miss Ellen, this is definitely a tagline. I did read through it all, so I'm going to unmute you, girl. I think, oh, there you are. Hi, Ellen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay, good. Your tagline, you say, I help distressed people apply the basics of yoga and meditation to create more resilience, wholeness, and vitality in their lives. Tell me more about distressed.
Distressed. I was trying to look for a word that would speak to people who are stressed and anxious. So I thought distressed.
Why wouldn't you just say stressed and anxious?
I was trying to get it down to a small number of words.
Okay, no, that's fine. But remember, we want to identify people as they are identifying themselves.
Okay.
Right? And I think the self-identifiers would more likely be stressed and anxious. So I think it's okay to call that out. Because again, these are the people that you want to help. You want to help distressed and anxious. Right,
Okay.
with basics of yoga, which again, I remember from the other day, Ellen was on a call with me, I think earlier this week where we talked about this.
Right.
She's going to help more beginners, people who don't yet have any yoga knowledge so that they can use yoga knowledge to reduce their stress. So I like that basics of yoga, and to call them out as stressed and anxious. That's what they are. That's what they're feeling and experiencing right now.
Okay.
Sound good?
That's good. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ellen. All right. Next is Miss Melly. Hi, Melly. Where are you? Melly. She's still here? Donde está? It's a lot to look through. Oh, hey. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself? I was hiding.
Oh, there you are. I see you now. Hi, Melly.
Hello.
All right, so I'm going to read out your tagline. She says, hi, Melly. And I used you as an example earlier. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Right? So here's her tagline. I help sleep deprived and stressed individuals uncover the root cause of their anxieties through dream work. So this is clear, right? This is clear. Melly is, again, she's been working with me for many years. She's already got online business stuff. She's calling out sleep deprived and stressed. If people are sleep deprived and stressed, they're going to know it. And it's something that they're definitely going to want help with. She tells them that she does dream work. If that's intriguing to them, she's their person. This is a great tagline, Melly. Did you have any questions about it?
No. It took a while to get into that.
It did. This is a process, isn't it? What advice do you have for people who are here with us today about going through this process?
Well, it really helped posting it in the Facebook group, in the Upward Facing Facebook group.
Yep.
But yeah, I used to have a couple of things, like it would end with dream work, aromatherapy, yoga, and other holistic tools. So narrowing it down, I found that I am able to use those tools without telling every single thing that I do in the process.
Yep. I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Melly.
Of course.
All right. We're going to move on to Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Let me see if I can find you. It's a lot of people here. There she is. All right. I'm going to unmute you. How are you?
Hi. All right.
How's our harmonium?
It's so good. So good.
Oh my God, you guys, for everybody here, Carrie and I have known each other for a long time. And on a random stop, what was it, in Denver, right?
Yep, in Denver.
She bought my very first harmonium, which was sacred to me, and now it's sacred to her, and she keeps giving it such good energy. So I always check in.
Yeah, harmonium's doing well.
I'm glad to hear it. All right, Carrie, let me read out your tagline here. She says, I'm here to support you in rising from life's falls, rumble with the emotions present in those face down moments, and create a revolution in your life by reauthoring the stories that are no longer serving you. Wow, that's a lot.
So it feels wordy, and it's the, I don't want to say the first rendition, but definitely an early rendition. I do a lot of, so I'm a mental health counselor, and I've done Brene Brown's training. So a lot of the work that I do is with the Daring Way, life changer, saver. So that's where it's like the rising strong is a lot of the process that I use, but
yep.
I'm trying to figure out how to make it more pithy. I really like Melly's. It's pithy.
It's very pithy. Yeah. And like she said, she's been working on this for a long time. So Carrie, what I love what you have in here. Okay. It is pithy. I think it's a lot. It's a lot for people. You know, again, you want to work with people who are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And this is a little overwhelming. So let's see if we can dial it back a notch. So I really love, and I love the, Carrie, can you see everybody's lovely faces here? Those who are sharing, you don't, no obligation to share video. But for those, can you guys raise your hand? I want to get just a temperature on this idea of the rumble with the emotions present in those face down moments. I think that's beautifully said. Can I get a hand raise if you guys like that phrase? Rumble with the emotions present in those face down moments. There's something really powerful about the way that that's written. That's what jumped out to me. We got a bunch of hands up in here. They also like that. I think that that's what I love about it, is that you're inviting people to be present with those emotions, right? So you're going to invite the kind of person who is willing to be present with those. That's the best kind of person you can help, right? If they want to stick their head in the sand and not rumble, they're not your person.
Yeah.
Right. So I love the way that that's, so how about I'm here to support you, or I'm here to work with people who are ready to rumble with the emotions present in those face down moments by reauthoring stories that no longer serve you.
Yes.
I think that's a little more direct, right?
Yeah.
And I think this concept of reauthoring stories that no longer serve you, I'm gonna drop an F-bomb because that's who I am.
Please.
Really fucking unique.
Yeah.
It's a really cool way to say that, right? And it tells people that there's gonna be some work involved and that they have to be ready to reauthor those stories.
Right. And for me, when I hear it, there's like a freedom present. Like we can be the ones to reauthor our stories. Yeah, exactly.
Carrie, that's beautiful work. And I want to hear more about it. So I hope that you'll keep letting me know. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. All right. I'm going to mute you. So next on my list is Lisa Saldine. Oh my gosh. Lisa, where are you coming to us from today?
Well, actually, we're back at our real.
Wait, you're in a house. So I've spoken to Lisa a couple of times before, you guys, and she's often on the road in this gorgeous RV, and she is absolutely winning shelter in place.
Right, exactly. But now we're sheltering in our real home, and we've gone from 300 square feet to 5,000 square feet, and I'm just a little overwhelmed.
What a change, girl. What a change.
Yeah.
So let me read out your tagline here. She says, I work with women over 50 wanting to reclaim their vitality, health, and emotional well-being through gentle restorative practices of yoga. I think that's pretty clear. I got to be honest with you. I want to make it a little more exciting.
Okay.
So you've clearly named your audience, which I love, right? You got to call out exactly who you work with. Women over 50, they're going to look at that and go, I either qualify or don't.
Right.
And vitality, health, and emotional well-being. When women over 50 are blowing out their birthday cake, what are they wishing for?
A lot of women over 50 want to feel better, not only physically, but also emotionally about themselves.
Do they want to feel younger?
Possibly.
Do they want to feel more youthful?
Possibly.
I like the word vitality.
Right.
I think that's great. And I just want to hit on something that's a little more like vim, vigor, something more like, I'm thinking like, to reclaim their vitality, their vibrancy, their vim, their vigor. There's something alliterative happening for me. I don't know why, but
okay.
Let's see if we can tweak those to just give a little more pizzazz to that section of it. You're calling it out clearly, but I want that birthday cake wish. So what you might do is ask your friends who are women over 50, what are you wishing for? Right? And from what they tell you, see if we can massage that a little bit.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Lisa. Let's keep working on it, girl. All right, Miss Kimberlyn Cahill. Hang on a second. We got to go gallery view again. Unmute. And all right, I'm going to read out your tagline here. I support yoga teachers and wellness professionals to overcome financial deficit and schedule overwhelm to build profitable yoga-based businesses by sharing the practice of yoga through life coaching. Awesome. And it's a lot. We're going to pare it down a little bit, okay? And this is, guys, I'm cheating here because I know Kimberlyn pretty well, and we've worked together a lot on developing her online business. I love this. So I support yoga teachers and wellness professionals. I think that's fine. Let's see if we can pare down the overcome financial deficit and schedule overwhelm to build. What if we just said, you help yoga teachers and wellness professionals to build a profitable yoga-based business? Maybe a sustainable, profitable yoga-based business, or a manageable, profitable yoga-based business, or a, you know, something that includes that whole, you know, you want to make life better for them. What do you think, Kimberlyn?
I guess my only challenge to that is I've been taught so much to name the pain point, like we were talking about with Lisa and Carrie and others, is that what's the pain point? Is it enough to say your pain point is an empty pocketbook?
Yes, that is one of the biggest pain points on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to go straight, that I support these basically two sub audiences, the yoga teachers and wellness professionals. However, the struggle I have there is that I'm not really interested in helping wellness professionals who don't speak the yoga language.
Well, then I would say yoga professionals.
Okay, so just take out that other. That makes sense to me.
If you want a qualifier to be that they do some yoga, then you help yoga professionals to build profitable businesses. It's going to be yoga based because they're yoga professionals, right?
Right,
so you help yoga professionals.
And take that out. Yep.
Build profitable businesses by sharing. Actually, what's the name of your work? Life's Work Yoga.
In Life's Work Yoga.
So I would just say through Life's Work Yoga and coaching.
So this is particularly the tagline that I have for my coaching-based life coaching certification program.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm torn a bit as far as, do I use my brand name, my Life's Work?
Oh, if it's redundant, then no. You don't have to. If it's already there, if it's going to be on the page where the name exists, so you don't have to say it again.
So in other words, right now I have the mission of Life's Work Yoga is to support yoga professionals to build sustainable, profitable businesses by sharing the practices of yoga.
I would just say maybe through yoga and life coaching.
Okay, practices of yoga through yoga and life coaching. So not by sharing the practices of yoga through, no,
because you're not sharing practices. You're actually going to coach them, aren't you?
I call the program, I teach the 3 practices of inspired living.
Well,
but yes, I teach them how to coach and I teach them how to live.
Why wouldn't you just say to build profitable yoga-based businesses through coaching and inspired living, or through practices of inspired living?
Okay.
Okay. I think that's going to be good.
So sustainable, profitable businesses through practices of inspired living.
Yeah, you got it. I love that.
So I don't need to say that. I don't need to have the verb of teaching or sharing or.
No, they
just
get it.
Teach them. They get it.
Yeah.
You know me.
I know you. Thanks, Ms. Kimberlyn. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Alana.
All right, Bethany Desjarnette, we are going to move to you. Let's see if I can find you, girl. Can you unmute yourself, Bethany?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Oh, I see you now. Awesome. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So just one more thing. All right. So I'm going to read hers out loud. Oh, good. Roxy joined us, you guys. My little mascot down here. So Bethany says she's Bethany with Little Chicks Yoga, empowering families and children through sensory education and sensory yoga. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like, so you say empowering, what's the problem that you solve?
Well, a lot of the families that I work with, I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. So a lot of them are not confident taking their children with sensory difficulties into the community. So embarrassment. So just empowering them with tools so they feel more confident.
So people who have that problem will recognize that this is what you're helping them with. I guess I'm just not familiar enough with that particular audience.
Yes. Yeah. Sensory is generally the layman's term of communities, and the feedback of the parents that I work with are like these sensory issues. And then we dive into more of like, okay, well, let's specifically go through what the specific sensory components are.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. I feel like you nailed it, Bethany. Do you have any questions about it?
I guess it's just the idea of online.
Yeah.
I have a course that is diving into, you know, sensory tools, sensory education, but it's adding more in the yoga, because I was doing in-person kids yoga and mommy and me yoga, focusing on like the relationship and sensory tools. So I guess just continuing to brainstorm how I can incorporate online yoga.
Well, you said you have an online course already, correct?
Yes, but it does not have yoga. There's not specific yoga involved. I have one little snippet on yoga.
Then it's time to record some videos that teach them what you would teach them in person.
Yeah, I think I don't have any children of my own yet, so I always feel like many of the people that are online doing kids yoga have their kids, right? So that's been a mental block for me of I can't find kids to use in kids yoga videos. So I don't know if you have any suggestions there.
So use what you have. And if what you have is you, then use you.
Okay.
I think that if you're vibrant, and I think that if you're playful, the children watching that video will be totally fine not seeing kids on that video. I mean, look, Bethany, we're in extraordinary circumstances right now, aren't we? I think every one of your students and clients are going to forgive you if you have, you know, videos for children that don't feature children right now. You know, this is socially distancing. This is what's safe and appropriate. They just want the content. And I'll say that to all of you. People just want your content. It doesn't matter that it's not on HD. It doesn't matter that it's uber professional. They just want you to show up. That's Melanie's mantra, is just show up, right? So they just want you to show up. So Bethany, just do it. That's my advice to you. All right.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for the comments on this side. That makes me smile.
Awesome. All right. Mackenzie, you are next. Where is Mackenzie? Mackenzie, if you can unmute yourself, that'd be awesome. Mackenzie still here? Oh, I see her. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, I'm going to read out your tagline. Giving you the tools to heal yourself from the inside out. That's very general. What kind of tools? What kind of healing? What are we doing here, girl?
So after listening to you talk about the niche and like trying to write some stuff down right here, what like burns in my soul, I wrote a couple different ones down. Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I help women who have dealt with sadness and insecurity and pain find self-love through supplementing diet, meditation, yoga, and grace.
I love that. So that's much more clear. That's much more, it sounds a little long right now, so I might shorten it up a bit. And really just get to, you know, exactly their problem and how you help them. But I think that that's much more clear, and it really calls out who your audience is. I love it. Can you say that part about who your audience is again?
Women who have dealt with sadness, insecurity, and pain.
Awesome. Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
Do you have good questions about that? You did well.
Well, it's just like very new to me because, and I put in there too, when I introduced myself, I graduated from teacher training in last May. Yeah. And so, and when you talked about being a yoga teacher for 6 months and hitting like a rut, I've come out on the other side. And not to say that this quarantine is any, you know, I hate that people are sick and hurting, but for me, it's been like, I'm a single mom, so I work all the time, and I've been able to just like focus on healing myself and my own, doing my own inner work so I can be more useful in helping others, and kind of trying to document what I'm doing to help myself so I can help women.
Well, and you know, here's something that I want to share with you, Mackenzie. Mackenzie, thank you. I'm going to take the heat off of you now. So you did really, really well with your tagline. And I'm unfortunately, just due to time constraints, I'm not going to be able to get to everyone's tagline here today. And what I want to wrap up with a little bit is for all of you who have put your tagline in here, and there are so many, what you can do right now is scroll through that chat and see how many beautiful niches there are, how all of us here are helping to support our communities. We're not competing with each other. We're helping each other, and we're helping each other further by serving our niche. So within all of those niches, you guys, are very specific offerings that you can put online for your audience right now. When you tell them, hey, this is what I do, this is how I help. And, you know, so for Mackenzie, you're working with women who are having some challenges and struggles right now. You could easily create, say, a 4-week or 6-week group program for them right now, literally with tools like this one, Zoom. And you could say, look, everybody who is in this tagline, everyone who fits this niche and problem, I'm going to spend the next 4 weeks, every Thursday night from 5 to 6, you and I are going to have a conversation. We are going to have a private Facebook group where I support you with practices or PDFs or just check-ins. I'm going to provide for you this community where you all can check in with each other. You could do that right now. Right? You could do that right now. So whatever else you're putting out there, if you tell everyone every single time you put something out there, I'm helping you further. I'm helping this group of people, the people that I can help most, further with this online program. People who need that will come to you, right? And you don't need a lot of tools. I mean, again, I said this earlier, and I will reiterate it. I want you to think long-term here. I want you to think about getting your business online in a big way here, that this is pointing out a weakness for us in our industry as yoga teachers, that no matter what happens with studios or classes or retreats or workshops, no matter what happens with our health, our lives, that we always have a way to make a living and support people with our work. We do that by going online, okay? So eventually your efforts will turn into bigger, more comprehensive things like building an online course or having an online membership. But for right now, I need you to just get it done. I need you to get it done because the people need you and because you need a way to support yourself. And it doesn't take much. It takes, however, your niche. It takes you being really clear about how you can help people and what you're going to do with them. And the tagline is how you do that. So hopefully that makes some sense and gives you all some things to think about and crunch through. I have lots more resources to support you with this endeavor, you going online, you working with folks. So again, I'm going to put the link to the COVID resources there. Kim, if you wouldn't mind popping that into the chat, so that you guys have them. So there it is. The link is there. And it's got lots of stuff. It's got a blog on 5 ways to make money right now with tools that you have as a yoga teacher. It has a free course, a free small version of my business academy to give you some things to go online and build your business. It has a link to the Upward Facing Business Academy with a special offer that I'm doing right now for you because of this pandemic. It's got a link to my highereducation.yoga membership, which is a place where people just like you are all in conversation, figuring out how to navigate this new normal that we have. There's links to some resources for yourself, a chakra meditation to help you as an individual keep your resilience high so that you can deal with the stresses of what's happening right now. So please check out those resources. Please take advantage of all of them. And please think about, based on your tagline, based on the problem that you solve and who you serve, what you can offer to your audience right now. And then talk about that everywhere. Every single social media post, tell them where they can find more from you. Tell them how they can participate more with you. If you do any live broadcasts, every live broadcast, tell them how they can get more. They want more from you. Tell them how they can get it. Tell them what you're doing to support them further. So hopefully, Sarah's asking, this is actually a good question. Any pointers on the tools, like the nitty gritty to create memberships, share, save videos? So these are big questions, Sarah. The Upward Facing Business Academy goes through all of that. For now, my recommendation is to keep it simple. Okay, Zoom is a simple tool. It's free or cheap, depending on the level that you get. It's what we're on right now. It allows you to see people. It allows you to have a conversation with them. You don't need any pre-recorded content. I'm sitting on my couch in the living room. Like, there's nothing fancy here, right? It's just super simple. So this is something you could do literally in the next 2 hours with your audience with just this kind of tool. Utilizing the power of Facebook groups, getting the people who are participating with you in whatever you provide for them into a Facebook group so that it's a limited audience, so that it's exclusive to them, so that you can help them further. Again, a free tool for you to be able to go online. PayPal makes it really easy for you to accept payment. There's buttons you can put on a website if you have one. And if you don't, it creates links that you can send out in an email for people to pay. So I recommend, again, because of the urgency of the situation, right? People are stuck in their homes now. Their anxiety is increasing now. The depression is increasing now. It's not about creating the most masterful piece of work. That'll come down the road, okay? That'll come. You're gonna be able to do that. Don't let that idea stop you from providing something at this moment for your people. You have everything you need to provide something for your people right now. You could use Skype, again, free. You know, you don't have to have pre-recorded stuff. It doesn't have to be overly professionally done. You don't have to have a big website. That will come, right? And again, I want you to think long-term. I want you to think about those things. You do need all of those things eventually. But right now, help your people, help yourself. Give them more access to you, charge appropriately for it, tell them how they can participate with you, and utilize the tools at your disposal. For those of you thinking about online courses or membership, Teachable is my favorite. That's what I use. Teachable.com is great. I'll put a link to Teachable there. So that's, again, it's a little more involved. It's a little more pro. You can certainly go in that direction, but don't let anything stop you from doing something now. I hope that that helps, and I hope that that message is clear. So you guys, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to close out. I know that we all have, you know, other things to get to. And I so am very, very, very grateful for all of you hanging in there with me on this call, being a part of this experience, offering so much input, sharing your taglines and being vulnerable with me, working through that. But most of all, I honor you for the work that you do. You are so important. You are so important right now. You are all spiritual leaders. Your work has never been more important than it is right now. This is your time. This is what you've been training for. This is when your people need you most. Right? I have always been here for you. I am here for you. I will continue to be here for you. And I hope that you hear this call, that you as a spiritual leader have the resources that people need right now. Our medical professionals are going to help keep people physical healthy, and they are necessary. But people are struggling mentally and spiritually right now, and you are exactly trained and positioned to help them with that, and you are necessary too. Whew. Something in my eye, guys. There's something in my eye. So I hope that you are all having some inspired thoughts and some, ideas about how to serve your audience right now. Again, take all of those resources, take advantage of all those resources I've listed for you. I will be doing more live stuff. I'm going live regularly inside my groups, right? Because I'm recommending that to you. That's what I'm doing too. So inside my Upward Facing Business Academy, inside the Higher Education.yoga membership, inside my Modern Mystics Academy, inside my teacher training, I'm doing extra support for them right now because they need it. So if you are a part of those groups, I will look forward to seeing you far more in calls just like this. And in the meantime, until then, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. I love you all. Thank you for the work that you do. And I will talk to you soon. Namaste, everybody.